Welcome everybody to Marriage Mondays. It is Dre and Hershey with another episode of Marriage Mondays. And today we have our good friends, hashtag Jabrina.
Love it.
We got Josh and Sabrina here who are engaged to be married.
Yeah.
And when is the date?
October 20th.
October 20th. Wow. I'm getting close, right?
Yeah.
You ready?
Around the crunch time.
So today is all about talking about worth the wait.
Yes.
It is worth the wait. It's worth the wait to get married.
Yeah.
Praise God. Okay. So, go ahead and introduce yourselves, how you guys got together, all that stuff. Did you want to get married? All that. Yep. So you go ahead.
All right. So I'm Sabrina and I'm 29 years old. And
I'm Josh, 27.
we had talked up.
Think up, Joshua.
Joshua, I'm 27 years old.
So we met about a year and a half ago. And we met through his cousin, which was a coworker of mine at the time. And she talked to my sister and was like, hey, there's this guy. You should meet him. And she showed me pictures. And I was like, okay, you look cute. All right. But I didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
And so we actually planned a day to go to the movies, and it didn't plan out. And I was like, I guess it just doesn't work out, And
so, that day was, funny because, I already had planned to go with my cousin to the movie theater, but, she popped up out of nowhere, my cousin, she just sent me a picture. What do you think about her? I was like, she's cute, but I didn't think nothing of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, so, conversation kept going, and, came up on, going out, invite her to go somewhere, and,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm going Friday to the movie theaters and just go. And when Friday gets there, I'm excited to go.
You flaked out, didn't you?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Sabrina, you flaked. I was like, I got something to do. And then I was just I was so nervous. I was like, no, it's just not gonna work out. I got work. I'm task oriented.
Okay.
So I'm like, no one's gonna come between that and da da da. And yeah, so that didn't happen. Yeah.
So it didn't happen. I still ended up going to the movie theater because I already promised my cousin I was gonna take her. So I just went, and I don't remember exactly how it came out, but my cousin started planning for them to go over to her house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was gonna make some jibaritos and
Flag on a plane.
We're not gonna skate past that word. Make some what now?
jibaritos.
Okay, what is that?
Fire.
Remember what Hershey had at the Puerto Rican? No, she had it.
Like
the
the
plantain.
Like the,
Yeah, the sandwich.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's what it is?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Okay.
plantains on top and the meat and then lettuce, tomato, cheese,
Okay.
fire.
Okay.
So I couldn't pass that up. I gotta go now.
Yeah, so she said, I'm gonna make those and you guys can meet there.
Okay.
So we finally meet there, and I was really nervous, to tell you that.
Yeah.
I barely could speak.
Aww.
I was so nervous, and I was so nervous I even forgot to ask for her number.
Yeah. So we have dinner. His cousin's there, my sister's there, and we're sitting at a long rectangular table, and he's just quiet. I'm like, I guess he's not interested. He's not saying nothing. He's to himself. He's eating, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what this, So I just kind of stuck it out, and we were in the living room, and then we just started talking. And it was easy. It wasn't
So it happened naturally?
yes,
Okay.
naturally.
Okay.
It wasn't dead air, just that long
I got
pause.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was a good day. It was a good day just talking to him, and then I went home. I'm like, dang, you really don't like me? You didn't ask for my number. And I was like, dang. And so went home that day, and on my Facebook, I got a request, and it was from him. And he's like, can I get your number? Like, it was nice meeting, with you. It wasn't like, it was just nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't like crazy out of the blue.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. And then from there, we started talking, and then it escalated to like FaceTime.
Okay.
FaceTime, we started doing, but it was over like a long time. And then and that's how we met.
That's how you met.
Mm-hmm.
So when he Facebooked you, like, what was your thoughts?
I was excited, but I was like kind of hiding it. Like,
Okay.
I was like, because I didn't know him, I was like, he's very handsome, he's quiet. I didn't really know him. So I'm like, all right. So I was excited, and then when he sent that like request, I was like, okay, he does like me. It's not like, oh, I never got anything.
I've been nervous too. Like, that's what it is.
I was like, when she left, I was like, I forgot to. And then, I started asking my cousin, what was her full name, so I can look it up on Facebook. And she told me her full name, and I looked it up on Facebook and found her. And I think you sent a text first.
Mm-hmm. I just sent the text like, thank you, just like hanging out, thank you. It was nice meeting you. I had a really good time, and he was like vice versa. I had a good time too, so we hit it off from there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
See, why we can't have a story like that?
We had a good story.
We can't have a story like that. My story is I was called the next day to take somebody to work who didn't know me.
Listen, I knew what I needed.
That's right.
If you can't provide it then, you can't provide it later.
True. Okay, so next question is, Josh, how did you know, like, that Sabrina was the one you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Well, like, what was that process like? So I know you like that's a good question to ask, but like, what was that process like getting to the proposal?
So it was a long process because I felt like I wanted to marry her like 6 months in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was like it was like by just hanging out with her and like going out to dinner or whatever, and like our conversations and all that, and she caring about me, vice versa.
Yeah.
She showing me love and not judging or
Yeah.
like I started feeling that I want to be with her, and it was a long process. I was waiting, and I didn't want to make no rush decisions.
Yeah.
And mess something up, and I went to talk to your dad because he wanted to talk to us, and he asked that same question like, why are you waiting?
Yeah.
And I just told him like, I want to marry her. I'm just waiting for God to answer.
Yeah.
And God to give me like it's time.
Yeah.
So after that, I went to church, and a couple services they just talk about straight marriage.
Yeah.
That was like
Confirmation you needed.
yes.
That's awesome.
And I went and bought the ring, and when we went to a ministers meeting at Indy.
Yeah.
And there was a pastor there, Mike Alley.
Oh yeah.
He started making jokes. I was like, but he said, well, like, when are you gonna marry her? I was like, I don't know. And I had the ring already. I had the day planned. It was gonna be Sunday.
Dope.
It was gonna be Sunday at church. I had it planned already. And I was like, that was Saturday. I was like, I don't know.
And I was like, what? What do you mean? Oh, no, you pastor. Yeah. So I had to keep my composure.
And I remember too, like, it was funny because was it Thursday before we went down there? I remember sitting down with her, and she was like, asking kind of like the same question.
Probably.
Like, are you gonna marry me soon? Later?
Yeah.
I was like, I might propose tomorrow, next week, next month.
That's right.
Who knows?
That's right, Josh. That's right.
Whatever.
And I don't even got the ring, and I was lying. I had the ring at home, but yeah. And then Sunday came.
Which I missed, by the way.
Yeah.
Thought I throw that
How
out
did you
there.
miss that?
I was at work
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
and I got the videos.
I'm gonna take the color champagne back.
No, don't do that. Like, so you hear this a lot when it comes down to women. I hear a lot of women say, even a lot of men say this. Like, a man knows when he wants to marry.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you've been in a relationship and it's been 14 years and he has not proposed to you yet, 9 times out of 10 he's not going to marry you.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A man knows. I knew within a year of us being together that I was going to spend the rest of my life with her. You beat me. And so now I need to know, how did you know?
Well, it's like I said, the way we was like with each other, and
Yeah.
the way she cared and love me and not judging me and showing me that like respect and love,
Yeah.
and it was something that I didn't know I needed,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I just, every time I saw her, I was like, I just want to marry her, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like, it was a just that, you know.
Yeah.
The love she showed me, and even the tough process that we've been through.
Yeah.
And she never. It was rough sometimes, but she never left me. She
Okay.
never judged me for my past
Yeah.
or for the things that happened, and she always cared, you know.
Yeah.
And that was like, I was like, nah, I gotta marry her.
That's awesome.
That's deep.
so
That's deep.
dope.
So Sabrina, how did you know like
It was this right here. You see this beard right here? For me, it was opposite. It was a longer process, just
Okay.
because like I was scared. Like Joshua was my first boyfriend, like
Okay.
first man I've ever been with, and like through college, high school, like never dated anybody.
Yeah.
So when I met him the first time, he was gentle and nice, and like just a gentleman.
Yeah.
And I like never encountered that, and
Yeah.
I was like, wow. But it, like he said, it wasn't until we had rough patches in our
Yeah.
relationship,
Yeah.
like both of our pasts, and God moved in that part because I used to be a person where I was like, if you make bad decisions like in your past, like that's it, like you're defined by your past.
Yeah.
And something shifted in my heart to say like, no, there needs to be grace and forgiveness.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I wasn't there when that happened. We never met, so it was like, why am I gonna put that on him?
Yeah.
You know? And for me, I knew because in my hard times, he never left me.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's easy when it's like you have those butterflies in your stomach
Yeah.
and
Oh,
they're
yes.
taking you out and
Yeah.
you're going to the movies. And yeah, it's fun. But when those hard times come, it's
Yeah.
like, man, do you stick it out or do you
Yeah.
leave? You know, and he never left. And I saw his heart and he's like, I'm not going to leave you. Like, I care for you, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, it wasn't until God was transitioning a lot in my life, and I used to be like Lone Ranger. Like, I can go, I'm independent, I don't need anything, and he never left.
Yeah.
And I was like, that he's the one.
Yeah.
Like, he's the one. God, like, he's a gift to me, you know, and the way he speaks to me, the way he encourages me, like, uplifts me, supports, like, me and my goals.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, that was when I knew.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's how I knew, but it was longer because of the fear, because of like,
Gotcha.
what if it's not real? What happened if he's just faking it and
Yeah.
just, you know, just because he likes me, he's gonna fake it for a season and then be this other person.
Mhm.
His character never changed, so that's how I knew.
Preach.
That will.
That's
Actually,
awesome.
I'm gonna get some preaching music to go behind you. So like Sabrina, so right now you're going through the MIP program.
Yes.
What was that process like for the two of you, going through CAMS and then going through MIP? Like, I know spending time apart from each other, you know, you being downstate. How was that process like for you too?
So, like, to be honest, when I started it, I'm very goal oriented. So I'm like, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know the things when you go for God, what comes up, what trials. And at that time, I moved in with one of my relatives, and it was very hard, a lot of brokenness.
Yeah.
And just like, how can I do this? How can I study? And family stuff's going on, and issues going on, and like, he supported me, like, you start this, like, you're gonna finish it. Like, don't stop. And I'm like, okay. And having that support made me want to do it more. So spending that time apart, like, it allowed me to study, you know, like, okay, I told him, okay, I have to study these weeks, you know, right from work, I have 2 hours to study this chapter. I can't talk with you. And it is hard, because, like, I was falling more and more in love with him. I want to be with him every day, but I knew, like, I got to do camps. I got to do MIP. And what was so awesome was, like, our last class for, like, camps, I told him, like, Joshua, I passed the test. And he's like, what? I'm like, congratulating me, his parents. And, like, I go to his house, and there they are with big smiles and a cake. And I started crying. I was like, oh, like, that was the love. Like, I never knew, like, never felt that before. And just that support, you know. MIP, same thing. Like, okay, he understood what I have to do, and he respected that. So I'm like, okay, I can do it. Because I've, for some reason, I always fought people just to do ministry. And with him, it was like, I don't have to fight. But I was like, quick, like, if you take me away from that, I'm done with you. Like, if you come, me and Jesus, we're done. And he's like, I won't. And if I do, let me go. And I'm like, what? Like, he's like, if I do, just let me go.
Yeah, that's dope. That was one of the first things, because when we met, I wasn't saved. I was born and raised in the church, but at that time in my life, I was apart. And I wasn't doing none of the church things, none of the. So I knew what I was doing. It was wrong. And I didn't want that to jump on her. Or corrupt her into following my ways. And I remember telling her the first things that I told her was like, if I ever take you away from God, let me go. Because I don't want, like we was talking about this today, I don't want that over my life. And that was the same way for camps. Like, she was like, I need time to study, I need time. And I was like, yeah, take all the time you need. Like, that's your time with God. Like, that doesn't have to do nothing with me. Like, he's first, MIP, camps, MIP is first. And then, whenever you have time, we can just hang out and catch up. And it wasn't like, you gotta be with me or I'm gonna leave you. No, I'm not that type. You know?
I mean, but the fact that you said, if I'm taking you away, let me go. Like, for a lot of people out there, like, you hear on Facebook and stuff like that, you hear, I want a man of God, I want a woman of God, I want this and I want that. But do you really? Like, do you understand what that means? Like, what you said, that speaks volumes beyond, like, what we can even imagine. I never thought about that. Like, to say, if I'm taking you away from the Lord, cut me off. I would rather see your relationship with Jesus succeed than me and your relationship succeed.
That's deep.
That right there will make a lot of men mad. Congratulations, Josh.